Okay, so today we're looking at an IELTS Task 2 essay, okay, and the pattern is discuss both views and give your opinion, okay? So typically this type of essay will have an introduction, okay, then you've got point of view A, point of view B, and then your conclusion. And in your introduction and conclusion, you should be highlighting what your opinion is on the question. So let's take a look at the question. Nowadays, people are affected by social media and the internet. Is it a good or a bad trend in your opinion? Explain it by giving your own examples. Okay, so this is something some candidates forget to do or include is examples from real life or things that you've seen or experienced. And always remember, it doesn't have to be true. You can lie and make up an example. Okay, it can be hard to come up with something just on the spot, but you can make up something if you want to include that as an example. So that will help your task achievement by including these examples because that's going to support your idea and support your main point. Okay, so I'll show you as we go through how this candidate has done it. So let's look at the introduction. So I like the length of this introduction. I like an introduction that goes across 3 or 4 lines. I think some candidates just try to write a really short introduction. But if you're going for that 6.0 IELTS or higher score, you should really be writing a slightly longer introduction. So they've started. There is not doubt people live in a world of social media and the internet in daily basis, and this new wave had drastically changed living styles and affected lifestyles. Okay, so first of all, this should be, there is no doubt people live in a world of social media and the internet on a daily basis, okay? So whenever we have like basis, we always have so on a weekly basis or on an hourly basis. So that's just a pair that goes together. And this new wave has, okay, because it's continuing, has drastically changed living styles and affected lifestyles. It has been suggested, okay, so again, this is like he needs to be careful of the tense here, or this candidate, they need to be careful of the tense here. It has been suggested that this brings many benefits, okay, because it's something that's happening right now, right? So it started a little while ago and it's continuing now, so has been suggested that this brings many benefits. However, there are also several drawbacks. In this essay, the reasons why I agree that there are both positive and negative aspects of this trend will be discussed. Okay, so let's look at this sentence here. This is supposed to be giving their opinion, okay? And what is this person's opinion, okay? They agree that there are both positive and negative aspects, okay? It's the most boring opinion you can have. Yes, on the one hand, yes, on the other hand, no, okay? The best thing to do in your IELTS essay is to pick an opinion, okay? Of course, you're going to give both sides because you have to as part of this essay style, okay? But you should pick one and argue, okay? Social media is good or social media is bad, okay? And then give some reasons why. So this is a non-opinion. This is not really a point of view. So I would give negative point for task achievement for that because they're not taking a strong stand. It makes it more difficult for yourself if you don't have a strong opinion. So just pretend that you do have a strong opinion. And then here, okay, so if we look at this section, so I'm just going to look color quickly. Okay, so it has been suggested that this brings many benefits. However, there are also several drawbacks. Okay, so my issue with this sentence is this is a perfect opportunity to let me know the structure of your essay. What are the points you're going to talk about? What's the theme of your argument or the main theme of why you believe social media is good or bad, okay? So saying that there are many benefits, however, there are several drawbacks, this tells me nothing. This gives me no information in your introduction, okay? And when I teach academic writing for students who want to go to university, this is a big mistake they often make, which is that they're just saying that there are advantages and disadvantages in their introduction, but they're not telling me what they are. So a much stronger sentence would be something along the lines of, it has been suggested that while this brings many social benefits, and then we can add a clause, especially during the recent pandemic, Okay, so social media has brought people together. It has been suggested that while this brings many social benefits, especially during the pandemic, the danger of online fraud and damage to mental health is overwhelming. Okay, so you've told me that there are pros and cons, but you've actually told me what the pros and cons are that you're going to discuss. Okay, so while this brings many social benefits, especially during the pandemic, okay, so now I know you're going to talk about the benefits of connecting people who are far away. The danger of online fraud and damage to mental health is overwhelming. Okay, so now you've said, yeah, even though there are these benefits, these negative things are much stronger than the benefits. Okay, now that's a much stronger thesis statement. You've given me the basic structure of your essay. Okay, and now I know what you're going to tell me. The point of the introduction is to tell me where we're going to go in the essay. Okay, and so now that's what you've told me. And being a strong essay means that you then follow and support that plan. Okay, so that's my main feedback to this candidate. Is the first sentence was fine, a few grammar mistakes, but these last two sentences are really telling me nothing interesting or nothing new. Okay, so let's look at their body one. To begin with, there are many online sites that provide us with entertainment. For example, YouTube and Netflix have featured a variety of videos, such as Hollywood movies and documentaries that are very popular with different age groups. The web has made people's lives easier, more comfortable, and more enjoyable. I really like this sentence. A thing that we do in English a lot is we like to list things in threes. It's a nice rhythm in English to say three things. It makes people's lives easier, more comfortable, and more enjoyable. So if you're describing something like that, using a list of three is really good. She was beautiful, she was fun, she was smart. Or, oh my God, my holiday, it was just beaches, mountains, happiness. Like, I don't know, like in English, we always list things in three. So I really like that sentence structure. It's a very natural sentence structure to use. Second, colleagues from large group corporations over interstate are able to attend video conferences via Zoom app. So we're giving an example, apps like Zoom, okay? From large group corporations over interstate, I would just say from large international corporations is actually a better way to do it. So over interstate is very specific to America, and it sounds very awkward to put in this sentence. Are able to attend video conferences via apps like Zoom. As a result, this saves a lot of time and cost. Thirdly, while people are at home, they can purchase anything that they want through online shopping, and also refunds are available over the website if the product is defective. Okay, but I mean, this is also true if you buy something in a shop, right? You just take it back and you can return it. So I would say here, you're saying, why is this made better by the internet? Okay, so is it easier to return things online? Is it quicker to get your refund? Something like that. So my issue with this paragraph is we're talking about a bunch of different things in the same paragraph, okay? So he's talking about they provide us with entertainment, and give an example. It gives us for like business purposes, and then it's easier to shop, okay? So I would actually use this as the number one sentence, okay? And then each of these are examples of this. So to begin with, the web has made people's lives easier, more comfortable, and more enjoyable. For example, there are many online, so entertainment, okay, makes our lives more enjoyable, okay? The business one makes our lives easier. Shopping anything you want makes your life more comfortable, okay? So this should have been the first sentence, and then everything else should have been examples of that, okay? And then what I want them to see them include is an example from real life, okay, to help explain the point. Okay. So maybe it's something like, a survey by UCLA found people are 30% happier in places with internet than places without internet, or something like that. Okay. So, in terms of vocabulary, I think this is okay. In terms of grammar, I think it's okay. It's just the structure of the paragraph is weird and it doesn't feel focused. It feels like they're changing what they're talking about a lot. And so that's why I want them to start with this focus sentence, okay, and then use the paragraph to give me 3 examples. Okay. Talking to the media keeps people up to date and provides them with a wide range of knowledge on a variety of topics. Sites like Facebook and Instagram help you build more informal relationships with different types of people living in different countries. In addition, FaceTime also offers a live video calling feature for face-to-face conversation. As a result, they become friends, who's they, and share life experiences with each other. So when you got they, I'm just thinking, who's they? If I go back to the previous sentence, which is what you do, there is no they. Okay, so as a result, people, maybe you can say diverse groups of people. Diverse groups of people become friends, can become friends, and share life experiences with each other. Okay, now for me, again, this paragraph is a different change from this paragraph. So they've listed 3 different benefits, then we've got a 4th benefit in its own paragraph, which the structure and the paragraphing of this feels weird. Now, paragraphing is very important. In IELTS, if you're trying to get more than a 5.0, you have to have logical paragraphing, and this paragraphing is confusing me because he's got 3 benefits here, and then he's got another benefit in its own paragraph. So it makes me confused why it goes 1, 2, 3, and then 4 here. Either everything should be its own paragraph, if you're going to do that. Okay, or they should all be in one paragraph. In fairness, maybe to make the PowerPoint, they've split this from the previous paragraph, but it looks confusing like this. Okay, so this is a mistake people make. The rule that we learn in the UK when we're learning to write an essay is 1 idea, 1 paragraph. Okay, which is why I didn't like this paragraph, because there's 3 different ideas going on. Okay, and so you can start your idea as being like, there are many benefits. There are many benefits to to internet and social media, and then list them all in the same paragraph. Okay, don't split them up. Or you have 1 benefit per paragraph. Okay, so this needs some kind of link here. This candidate needs to link up here to what he's previously saying. Okay, you're like, furthermore, moreover, okay, at least, minimum, okay, to kind of link it together cohesively. And then this is kind of suggesting the benefits of social connection. Okay, so I mean, that's fine. The examples are fine. But again, I'm looking for an example from their real life, or a sort of made up example. Okay, another paragraph. Nevertheless, okay, so we have our linking word here. That's good. We've not had very many linking words. Internet crimes using lost personal information and privacy data due to hacking have been increasing. Okay, I like this use of grammar, have been increasing. That's sort of, he showed me some good grammar. For example, there are often cases where hackers withdraw personal money through online banking with such stolen information, or use the leaked personal photos to blackmail and demand ransom money. Ransom money. These crimes inflict enormous damage on property and are an invasion of individual privacy to their victims. Therefore, on the one hand, internet and social media have a negative view. Why is it on the one hand? Therefore, because you've not said on the one hand, on the other hand. Okay, so this isn't the correct use of this phrase here. Okay, you can't just use on the one hand without then following up with on the other hand. Therefore, so it could be therefore, while on the one hand, there are many social benefits to social media. On the other hand, the internet and social media have a negative reputation, perhaps reputation due to these worst case scenarios. Okay, so a worst case scenario, these worst case scenarios, like the baddest thing that could happen, the worst thing that could happen to you, the worst case scenario. Okay, so I mean, this is okay as a sort of counterpoint, okay? But this last sentence is a little bit weaker, okay? And I feel like is this the writer's opinion? Okay? But I know it's not their opinion because in their conclusion, he says the benefits of making our lives convenient and comfortable far outweigh the drawbacks. Okay, so he's saying the benefits are much more important than this. But he's not told me why. They've not told me why. Sounds very serious. He's like, okay, hacking, privacy data, online banking, stolen information. So what he needs to add to this paragraph is explain why this is not so serious. Why are the benefits stronger? Okay, because what this candidate has said, what they've said is because it's entertainment, it's better for work, it's easy to do online shopping, you can make friends around the world. Well, on the other hand, people can steal your personal information, blackmail you for ransom money, and have enormously devastating crimes on victims. But overall, I think the benefits are much more important. So do you see how the tone feels too different? I'm like, you need to tell me why this negative is not as strong as the positive. Maybe that could be that you think that these crimes are actually very rare and don't occur very often, so it's very unlikely that something like that would happen. Or recently, the police are getting much more sophisticated at tackling and stopping these types of crimes. Therefore, in the future, this will become less important. And that's why, overall, the benefits are stronger than the drawbacks. Okay, so I like his phrase, as far as I am concerned. I think that's a really nice phrase to use. It's very natural sounding. And this conclusion sentence, the grammar and the structure is very nice. But to be honest, I think there's just the argument is quite weak and the task achievement is a little bit lower. Okay, so what am I going to score it overall? So in terms of grammar, I thought this candidate was reasonably strong. They had a couple of issues with tense, a couple of issues with they're trying to do more complex sentences. So there was a couple of issues there. So I would probably have this come out at a 6.0 for grammar. In terms of vocabulary, I thought their vocabulary was reasonably good for what they were trying to do. So probably a 6.0. Cohesion and coherence. Okay, this is where we have our issue with paragraphing. My students think I'm obsessed with paragraphing, okay? But really, it's very important to get your paragraphs sorted. So honestly, that's coming down at a sort of a 5.5. I mean, there was a logical flow to the essay. What they were saying, was consistent, made sense. But the paragraphing for me made it very difficult to give higher than a level 5. And task achievement, they do give a lot of examples. They sort of try and talk a lot. They talk about two sort of very different sides of the internet, but they don't really satisfactorily bring it together into a cohesive argument or a very convincing argument. So I guess in terms of task achievement, I'm probably going to, again, put them at a 6. Because I think it could be a lot stronger. And I mean, really, this is where they've got the most chance for improvement, because I can see, reading the essay, this candidate has a good English and a good understanding of events and has opinions and ideas about stuff. Really, this task achievement score could be a lot higher if they just explain their ideas a little bit more, gave more examples, put in a counterpoint, and had more specific topic sentences in their paragraphs. So I would give this an overall 6.0.